To begin our French Randing, we're taking one weaver, inserting it like that behind one stake and making one weaving move. We're taking the next weaver, inserting it to the left of that first one behind a stake and making one weaving move. Next one to the left of the last one and making one weaving move. Now we're weaving towards the right, but progressing towards the left. If you are left-handed, you will do everything in the opposite direction, of course. So now we just continue like this until we get to the last two, and I'll show you how to insert them. Two fingers here behind the stake that I need to go behind. The thumbs are directing the rod where it should go, both the left and the right, and I'm grabbing it between my fingers here, just like that. We've specifically chosen shorter rods for now, because as beginners it's easier to work with shorter rods. You don't get confused as much. It's easier to handle and to manage. And especially if you're working without a lap board on your knees, it's much easier to work with shorter rods. And also I wanted us to do several sections of French Randing, just to learn it better, right? This is the point of this first basket, to learn the techniques. So now I've got to the last two, and this is why we've counted our weavers, so that we know when we're at the last two and not get confused. So now I know for sure that I'm at the last two. And the first one, let's just move these up like that. And the first one of them enters, as you can see here, where the first one exits, right? This is our first one. This is the first one that we've weaved, and it exits here, behind this stake. So now this weaver now is entering underneath it and making a regular weave, just like that. Now the second one, or the last weaver, is going to go, if let's see, this is our first weaver that we've weaved, right? And this is our second. It will go underneath the second one, right? Right here. Or if we look to the inside, we can see where we have to insert it. We have butt ends everywhere except from behind this stake. So it has to enter right here, but it has to enter underneath everything. It has to enter right above the whaling band, right here. So it enters underneath everything, and now we have to move those two weavers out of the way, or the next weaver here, this one, we have to move out of the way and weave it underneath it. So it enters underneath everything and weaves underneath everything. And now when we've finished, we are going to have one weaver at each space, or one weaver coming out behind each stake. So that's the beginning part, the inserting part. And once we've inserted all of our weavers, we just take one of them randomly, doesn't really matter which one, and make one weaving move, right? Above, in front of one and behind one. Now that we've done that, notice that we have two here together, one on top of the other. So since we're just beginners now and might easily get confused, let's mark that place, right, with something. Now we're going to take the next one to the left and make one weaving move. And now you're also going to notice that we've created a pair here, but this second pair has a, you might say, they have a divider in between. Those first two are, right next to each other, close together, and the second pair has this divider in between them. So we don't need to mark the second pair, it's enough that we've marked the first pair. And now we just continue like this. Take the next one to the left and weave towards the right. Take the next one to the left and weave. Next one and weave. Hope you can see what I'm doing here. If I get confused and I don't know which one I have to work with next, I just have to see where I have a space. These ones come out right one after the other. One here, one here, one here, one here. And also here, we have one here, one here, one here, right? One after the other. And here, we're actually missing two, right? Nothing comes out of here and here, so there's a space in the weave. So this way you know which one you have to work with next, in case you get confused. Alright, now we've completed a full circle. You can see that we got to the first pair here. Now let's get this thing out of the way. So now what we do, we take this first pair, these two, and we have to weave the bottom one, right? The top one has already weaved. That's the first one we've weaved. Now we have to weave the bottom one. So we just weave it regularly underneath everything, of course. And now we're going to take the second pair, these two, and we also have to weave the bottom one here, this one, right? Can you see? And we have to weave it underneath the next one. So let's just move this one out of the way a bit. Now this one is the next one. We have to pull it like that. You can't see what I'm doing, right? Pull it like that and get in underneath it. Just like that. So now we've actually finished one round. and every time you finish a round, you can begin from anywhere you want. It doesn't really matter, it's all the same. So just pick one randomly and begin. That will be the first one. Let's mark it for now so that we don't get confused. Second one, right? We got those first two pairs, and now just continue as we did before. Right, now we got to the end again. Taking the bottom one of the first pair, weaving it regularly. Bottom one of the second pair, weaves underneath everything. And now we should once again have one weaver coming out of each space. Now you can see that I'm always paying attention to the stakes and the shape of the basket. This is something that you never stop paying attention to. Right, now let's begin another round. If you want to mark your first one, then do. I'm trying to pay close attention to where I get the king here. This is how this is why it's very important to work correctly with the left hand. Now I got to the end again, taking the bottom one, weaving it, bottom one, weaving it underneath the next one. Nice. Now before we continue, let's actually use a wrapping iron here. Nice. All right, let's continue. Nice. All right, so now first thing we want to do is to fasten our work. Right, so I finished wrapping, and now we're going to trim the ends. You can trim on the inside, and if the tip ends are really thin, like here, you can also trim on the outside. Traditionally, you trim on the inside, right next to the stake, like that, diagonally. But I'm going to trim on the outside right here. Let's also trim on the inside here. I hope I can show it. Can you see what I'm doing here? Just cutting them diagonally. Not all of them needs cutting in this case. Just going to go around, see which ones need cutting. After each rending section, we're going to we have to use wailing to, I like to say, to border that that section, or to lock it. So now I'm going to teach you another type of wailing bend, which is just one round that's finished with itself. Very different from what we did here.